Choosing a viewpoint. One of the things that can improve your videos and make them more interesting is to alter your viewpoint, or where you're standing to shoot your video. It's easy to think while you're looking at a scene, boy, that would look great on video, so do it, take that shot. But then think differently, and position yourself at a different angle to the subject or scene. Here are 3 shots of the same entrance to a local market. The first one is what we saw when we first came upon the market, while the second and third are from different perspectives. One is almost on the ground looking up. They can all be cut together with some music later on to make it more interesting. Also note, we didn't just zoom into the shot to crop it. We moved the camera closer to the subject and on a different angle to get the shot. In your quest to get closer to your subjects, you might be tempted to take the easy way out and just zoom into your subject. That doesn't change the angle or the perspective, it just helps you frame the shot better. What I would rather you do is move yourself and the camera as much as you can before you use the zoom. Think of the zoom last when composing and using it to remove any unwanted distractions, or when it's impossible to move any closer. Then use your zoom to get in close. Okay, so you have a few ideas on how to compose your videos. Remember too that unlike your still picture camera, you can pan left and right, and you can tilt the camera up and down to draw attention to your scene. Video is a motion picture device, so once again, use that motion to your advantage. Panning is the term that refers to any left or right motion of your camera. When looking at a big cityscape like this one in Vancouver, consider starting your shot on one side of the cityscape and slowly panning to the other side. Doing this helps to capture more detail because you can do so with the camcorder closer to your subject. It's also a great way to show more of the scene that your camera's lens is capable of doing. The trick here is to do it slowly enough to make it pleasing for your viewer. Don't do it quickly, as in this pan. It'll make some members of your audience motion sick. At the same time, avoid doing it too slowly because you'll bore people. Practice the shot a few times and then shoot it a few times. You can always select the best one later on in the edit suite. Tilting is the term that refers to moving the camera up and down as we're showing here. Like panning, it can be used to show more of the scene than your lens can show, and it can be used to draw attention to certain parts of your subject or scene. In this shot, I'm tilting and panning to provide a nice, pleasing view of the city. Play around with these types of techniques to add interest or drama to any scene. Before we leave this section on composition, I want to talk to you about a few tools you might want to add to your camera bag. The first is a wide-angle attachment that you can screw into your camera's built-in lens. As you can see, it makes a huge difference. The shot is really wide. Use it to show the expansiveness of a scene. The wide-angle attachment also acts to allow us to get closer to the subject, while still getting the entire subject. Be especially careful with your focus though, as these attachments can change things just a little. Earlier in this DVD, I kept referring to using a tripod. Well, I'm a huge fan of tripods because they allow you to get the scene as steady as possible. Virtually all professional video and film is shot on a tripod as it provides a superior image. While the subject of purchasing a tripod is a tricky one, we recommend you buy a tripod that meets the following requirements. Buy a video tripod that has a fluid head system. These provide superior stability when you want to pan or tilt the camera. Number 2, buy a tripod that is made for the camera the size and weight of your camera or more. Too many times, cameras are damaged or a shot is ruined because a cheap tripod was used. There are many tripods to choose from, and prices can vary from very little like $20 to thousands of dollars. To determine which tripod is right for you, check your camera's weight on a scale. We recommend a fluid head tripod because it provides features such as resistance for both pans and tilts, and some even allow you to dial in the amount of resistance you want. It can be the difference between getting a great shot and just getting the shot. Our final word of advice for tripod buying is overbuy. buy one you can grow with. Now I hear what you're saying. I don't want to carry a tripod around all the time. Well, here's an interesting alternative by Trek Tech. It's a walking or hiking stick, a monopod, and a tripod all in one. It even allows you to carry as much as 9 pounds or 4 kilograms of camera and accessories. The last accessory I want to show you is called a steady stick. It's used by amateur and professionals alike to get steady shots while maintaining the mobility of a handheld camera. Here's a side-by-side. We're walking down the street in both instances. You can see how much better the image stability is when we're using the steady stick. You can also use the steady stick with the camera high over your head or down low and still achieve the same great results. It'll give you an opportunity to get things at a different angle. Consider adding some filters to your camera bag. They can be a lifesaver or just help control the light. The UV filter can be screwed onto your camera and act as a first line of defense against accidental damage to your lens. But the one we're suggesting you add is a graduated ND filter. What it allows you to do is reduce the brightness of the sky while giving you all the light on the lower part of the picture. In this comparison, you can see how well the graduated filter works, as you can see some of the details in the sky instead of just seeing a detailless cloud. ND filters come in a variety of darkness, typically starting at 0.3 and increasing from there. In professional shooting, this helps increase the depth of field or the area that's in focus. Your dealer can help you select the right filters for your application. The third great filter, and a must in my opinion, is the addition of a circular polarizing filter. What a polarizing filter does is help you control the glare from things like windows and water, and it can minimize the haze in the sky. Using the circular polarizer, we can rotate the filter to effectively dial out the glare of our model in our car. But it also works to intensify the blue sky and the green grass in a landscape shot. It adds much more realism to your video. There are lots of types of filters to choose from, but we thought we'd give you a sampling. Some filters can change the color of your scene, help you with underwater white balance, or even add an effect. See your dealer for more information or visit the web.